everyone! Today's story is about a new soldier who was laughed at because of her scars. But everything changed when she was given her call sign. The general was a serious-looking woman with short gray hair cut in a military style. She stood tall and proud, giving off an air of authority and discipline. Her eyes were sharp, as if they could see through any lie. When you were around her, you felt like you had to watch every word and action, knowing she noticed everything. Even though she looked strict, she had a quiet strength and deep wisdom. People respected and admired her. As she rose through the military ranks, she made a strong impression on everyone who worked with her. Her legacy as a leader and teacher continued to inspire soldiers to do their best, especially when things got hard. At the center of the Special Forces training area, where only the toughest and most skilled soldiers trained, there was a female soldier known by the call sign Broken Wing. This name wasn't random. It showed her strength and ability to keep going, even when things got hard. Every day, she faced tough training. During a regular fitness test, all the new recruits lined up to show how much they had improved. One of them was a young woman with long red hair and pale skin. She didn't look like the usual soldier. Her legs were covered in thick scars, left from an IED, improvised explosive device, blast during her first mission. She had lost both legs below the knee in the explosion. But she didn't give up. Instead, it made her more determined to succeed. She trained harder than ever, pushing herself past limits she never thought possible. The drill sergeant, an experienced soldier known for being tough, barked orders and timed each move. The recruits jumped, ran, and climbed, their bodies sweating from the effort. Everyone was serious, trying to prove they belonged there. Suddenly, one recruit slipped during the rope climb and hung weakly from the beam above. It was the girl with the scarred legs. A cruel laugh echoed through the training yard. "Looks like someone took on more than they can handle." A recruit joked. "Yeah, maybe she should stick to something easier," another added sarcastically. The drill sergeant's face grew hard. He looked angry. He wanted to help her, but he knew doing that might make him look soft in front of the others. So he stayed quiet, hoping she'd get through it herself. Then, just as suddenly as she fell, she began climbing again. Slowly and painfully, she pulled herself up. The laughter stopped. Everyone went quiet. One recruit muttered, "That's disgusting." The general, watching from the crowd, felt two things at once: respect for the girl's determination and disappointment in the other recruits' lack of compassion. What kind of soldiers were they if they couldn't even show basic kindness? The general understood the pain of battle. She had lost both her legs in an ambush and gone through many surgeries and months of rehab before being cleared for duty again. She knew the wounds of war weren't just physical. The emotional and mental scars were just as deep. As training continued, the pressure grew. The drill sergeant kept pushing the recruits, testing their strength and endurance. The girl with prosthetic legs kept going, her determination showing with every step. She wasn't just trying to prove herself to others. She was trying to prove herself to the general, who saw her own past in the girl's journey. The general remembered how this soldier had joined after losing her legs in a bombing. At first, people said she wasn't fit for duty. But her strong will and refusal to quit had convinced the medical board to let her train with the Special Forces. The general had admired her spirit, the way she fought through pain and refused to give up. One evening, after a hard day of training, the general saw the soldier sitting alone. Her prosthetic legs were off and lying beside her. The general sat next to her. For a while, neither of them spoke. Then the general broke the silence. Her voice was calm, but firm. "You don't have to do this, you know," she said. "I see what you're going through. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone." The young woman looked up. Her eyes showed both sadness and determination. "I want to be a Green Beret," she whispered. Her voice cracked with emotion. "I was one before," she added, looking at her prosthetic legs. The general nodded. She understood. For someone who had gone through so much, returning to the familiar world of the Special Forces could feel like the only way to heal. "Being a Green Beret isn't just about being strong," the general said. "It's about being mentally tough, working as a team, and trusting each other." She looked at the soldier and asked, "Do you think you can do that?" The young woman hesitated. She thought of the cruel remarks from her fellow soldiers, the pain from her past, and the hard road ahead. But then she looked into the general's eyes. Her face became serious, and her voice steady. "Yes, ma'am," she said with confidence. The general smiled, a rare thing. It brightened her stern face like a light. "Then let's go earn that beret," she said, holding out her hand. As days turned into weeks, the general watched the soldier grow more confident and skilled. She became a key part of the team. Her teammates began to support and cheer for her. One day, during a training mission, the general's team ended up in a tense standoff. The enemy was nearby, pointing weapons at them. Suddenly, the double amputee who was leading the group raised her hand calmly. She drew her weapon and moved forward. Her prosthetic legs were nearly silent on the ground. The enemy wasn't expecting it and paused for just a moment. That was all the general's team needed to take control. They won, thanks to the brave and quick actions of the young soldier. Later, while the team rested, the general walked up to her, her face serious. "It's time," she said. "I need you to lead the next mission." The soldier's eyes widened. Being the point person was the most dangerous role, usually given only to the best soldiers. "But General," she began, unsure what to say. "You honor me with the call sign, Broken Wing?" the general said, cutting her off. Her voice made the moment feel important. "Are you ready?" The soldier looked into the general's eyes. At first, she was surprised, but then she felt strength rising inside her. Her prosthetic legs felt solid beneath her. The scars on her legs, once a painful reminder, now seemed like a badge of honor. They showed her strength and will to survive. "Yes, ma'am," she said, her voice full of confidence. So the general pinned the wings on her chest, officially giving her the call sign, Broken Wing. It became a symbol of her strength and courage. From that day on, the recruit who had once been mocked became the most respected soldier in the unit. Her call sign reminded everyone of her bravery. The same people who had laughed at her now looked up to her. They saw a hero, someone who had risen above pain, insults, and fear, and proved herself through sheer determination.